What's up guys, Maik Wiedenbach here. Today we talk about legs, right? That might be the only body part that I'm somewhat competent about speaking. That's actually not true. I was just always good at training legs because I have short legs and, naturally they grew. So usually here's what happens, right? You go to the gym, people do leg extension, some sort of a squat, leg press, leg curl, maybe calves, go home, right? It isn't bad, but it's not working for most people, okay? And the reason is always the same. It is people don't think what their body needs, and then it's stability. So most people are simply not stable enough to squat or to leg press or to do anything, right? I mean, you've seen it like this and the falling forward and all that kind of thing, right? So the first thing that needs to be done is warming up at the leg extension is not a good idea. Most people have tight hamstrings or inactive hamstrings, so when they go into the squat, that's where injuries happen. Henceforth, I'd say let's warm up here at the leg curl to get the hamstrings loose. So the way to do this is keep your shoulder blades a bit higher, then pull the toes in like so, get a good squeeze, only come down till here. I think like 8 reps or so. And on the second set, that'll be my first set. And then afterwards, I would kind of move my feet out because the hamstrings also adduct the leg. And I would get a little bit more of a sensation in that regard. So we're doing like probably 4 sets or so. Then, when I'm done with this, a lot of people have an issue with that their legs are of different strength, right? So the issue is that, let's say, on the leg press, your stronger leg will do 80% of the work. So the problem with that is, of course, that at some point the weaker leg gives out. So I recommend doing some sort of single leg stuff. So the options there, I mean, there are many, but one would be, you could start out just with a regular lunge, just making sure staying very upright, would be more quad heavy. You could be falling forward, make it more of a glute thing, or it could be a reverse lunge, So that would be that. Or you could also work on some Bulgarian split squats, somewhere along those lines, just so that you're finding out which leg needs more of your attention. So then, the next thing that people struggle with is range of motion. I've always been told, gotta squat ass to grass, gotta squat low. It's like, why? Says who? And also, can you? So the range of motion is the active range of motion, which means what can I do with my leg actively? So I can pull from my quads till about here, right? Now, if I use my hip flexors, I can pull about here, but that's not what I'm doing. So for the step up, I would set up just about here, right? I'm driving from the heel, no locking out. So I would usually do, let's say, 2 things that are single-legged. Closer to the cable lunges, work great. Now then, let's say you want to squat. There's a couple things, right? So the first thing is, you must be stable. So no squatting on the Bosu ball, no squatting on any moving platforms. Tuck the hips, tighten the abs, tighten the glutes. And now as you come down, you're thinking of pushing this floor into the next floor. And you're standing up as a byproduct. So the drive always comes from the heels. So you would never be in a position where you are coming forward. Next thing, you do not want to come over your big toe where the knees are caving in. So you want to push out, spreading the floor. What about depths? What depths? Whenever your heels come off, you went too deep. For muscle growth, going slightly below parallel is plenty. There's no need to squat all the way down unless you are a power lifter, which is a different dynamic. So that would be your squat. Let's talk leg press. So the leg press is obviously a good tool because it doesn't require your stability. The issue is that you can be, your weak leg can do all the work. So one option, of course, would be to use it single-legged. Again, the drive comes from the back of the foot, the heel. It's like a downward intention. Your active range of motion is whatever you can pull down, and you come up till here. You wouldn't lock out fully. You could also make this a drop set. So starting here, I can do more than one plate per side. This is a demo for the workout. Everybody, I'm stronger than this, okay? Good. So you start close, just about here, working mainly on the quads. Then you could come till about here and drive the knees inward ever so slowly in some sort of a Z motion for the hamstrings. And then as you're really tired, you're coming high and you're pushing from the heels, working on your glutes. Either way, you would not be locking out. So that is that. And since I have some creative freedom here, I'm just going to show you one thing that also can be done at the cables. So if you're somebody who is maybe struggling with balance or whatever the case may be, you could use the cable very well for, let's say, the lunges. So same principles apply. You could do a more quad-focused lunge. You could be falling forward for the glutes. You could be stepping in and out. Could even do a double dip. Some of my clients that have issues with the lower disc or balance or both, cable squats actually can work really, really well. So same idea, medium wide stance, tighten the abs, contract the glutes, squat down till about here, but don't stand up fully. So when you're doing this, your joints take the brunt and the muscle does nothing. So that could be, you could be playing with like 1 1/4 reps. There's all kinds of possibilities. Then, I know this is often poo-pooed, like to do a big exercise for the quads and then one for the hamstrings, but I always felt it worked for me really well. I really like banded deadlifts. So banded deadlifts, as the name implies, have a band, and then you could be just create as much tension as you want, basically. You can walk out further or whatever it is, come down till about here and come up, come down, curl your toes up and really use the hamstrings. So when that's done, you can do leg extensions. Leg extensions are not bad per se, but they're often not used properly. So leg extensions, once again, the idea is you're shortening the quad. Quad goes from here to here, and you bring it together as close as you can. So those handles, they're here to hold yourself down. And now you're just bringing the feet up. You do not twist the feet out or in. This would absolutely wreak havoc on your knees. All you do is, it's like the biceps. You're flexing, coming down. You can use those handles to put yourself in, which is great because it looks really cool and manly. And then, lastly, let's talk calves, okay? So calves, they're standing, which I'm not a fan. Like, I guess I'm wimpy because it leaves these marks, you know, when you go too heavy. Seated is not a good one because it unhinges half the muscle. So I prefer the leg press, or if you have a donkey race. But so the thing with calves that people get wrong is a couple of things. First of all, whatever angle you're picking, you're keeping it. So you wouldn't be doing like a mini squat. And secondly, you would be actively pulling your toes down, flexing your tibia, and now contracting the calf. Pulling down, so as opposed to let the weights do all the work, you pull down and you squeeze out. And that is my blueprint for legs, guys. Mike out.